All right. Here we are again with another Getting to Know You. And this time we are here with Fletcher Chamberlin, who is currently serving his first year as the treasurer of our fellowship on our board. Welcome, Fletcher. Thanks for agreeing to have us get to know you.
Thank you, Scott. I admit I'm nervous, but that's fine.
um, I am too. I get nervous for every one of these and before every church service. So that's just kind of how it goes.
Well, if I
Um,
do as well as you do on the church services, I'll be fine.
well, thank you. So, Fletcher, we like to ask the first question the same each time, and it's definitely a get to know you question, which is, where did you grow up, and how did that, influence who you are?
I grew up in Massachusetts, outside Boston. My father worked for a bank in Boston. Uh, and it uh, at the fifth grade, went off to a private school, wore a necktie at school, starting in the fifth grade, then went to prep school and college in New England.
Okay.
Um, so there was kind of the influence question is there was kind of a track set out
Uh-huh.
of pre-prep school and boarding school and college nearby. And uh, a big part of where I am now is a certain amount of resistance to that. There was a track that I, somewhere in my 30s, needed to get off. And that's when
Yeah.
I came west to Oregon.
Oh, nice. Interesting. Yeah. Along the way, then, how about do you have a hero, or like, is there a person in your life that you like looked up to or has inspired you?
Wow. I've had different people who've influenced me. I'm not sure there's a single hero or one that's lasted.
All right.
Uh,
Well, let's. How
for
about just
example,
one of those?
my college roommate's father was a big time businessman. He
Okay.
ran a company in Cleveland, a great big mining company in Cleveland. And I remember being really struck by him and oh boy, I want to be like him. He loved to argue,
Uh,
interestingly, and I don't, but
okay.
he would deliberately bait us when we were having dinner so that we could get into debates.
Yeah.
And I just remember really admiring the guy.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
great.
and then there've been other people at different stages. I don't think I'd necessarily want to do that now,
Yeah.
but there've been other people that have had an influence.
Right. Um, what's something fantastic that's happened to you this week or recently?
This week, wow. Um,
Big or small?
I don't know if it's fantastic. Yeah, I don't know if I say it's fantastic, but um, I've noticed in the last week or so that the the COVID shutdown, semi-quarantine that we're all going through actually has bothered me worse in the last week or so than it had all summer.
Really?
And literally just moments ago, I was doing a brisk walk down the street and ran into a couple of neighbors and just had this wonderful connecting conversation that we haven't had much of. We had some during the summer here because
Mhm.
our neighborhood got out in the driveway and did distanced gatherings. But as it's gotten colder, things are really closed in. So I'm not sure it's fantastic, but it really was refreshing
I would
to
call that
bump into
fantastic.
Jeannie and Rob and just catch up.
Yeah. Oh, we take those moments of connection wherever we can get them now, and they stand out,
Yeah,
really, don't they?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what's one of those little known facts about you that people might not know or guess that you've got tucked away there?
Well, let me see. I guess I gave away one already. Had to put on a necktie to go to school in fifth grade.
Yeah.
Um, the other little known facts. I'm not sure much of anybody in Maine knows. My first part of my career, I actually was a little boy banker, literally on Wall Street. The address of the Morgan Guaranty Trust Company was 23 Wall Street, and I went to work there with my suit and tie
Okay.
for 7 years, right out of college.
Wow.
It feels very far away now.
Yeah, but I think the fellowship is doing well and having you be in charge of our financial well-being,
Well,
right?
I don't know about
Um,
that, but it's a lot. As I say, that world feels very far away from where
yeah.
I've been for a long time.
Yeah. After since you went west, I guess. Yeah. Um, how about that? What drove you west? Why was west the way out?
Um, Part of it was that track question, because what happened was a customer of mine in Beaverton, Oregon, Tektronix, called me up one day. They were a customer of Morgan Guaranty Trust Company, the bank,
Uh-huh.
and they called up and said, "My chief assistant is changing jobs internally. Do you want to come to Oregon?"
Okay.
And basically, they offered me a job out of the blue. I said no, and then I thought about it for a little while and called it back, and ended up picking up and moving. And a lot of it was um, I I'd been in a pretty narrow world back east,
Yeah.
or at least what was feeling that way. And whether it was Boston, edge of Boston society that we never could fit in, or the whole New York finance scene. And this was a chance to go see what real people do. So I jumped off the track with, at the time, 2 small children,
Right.
and my wife was from Philadelphia, so it was quite a change for us to
Sure. And you
we
became
moved
one
to
of those
Portland.
real people.
Tried to be.
Um, how about like in the world of spirituality? How has your spirituality shifted in your life from when you were younger to now?
That's a that's a good question. I was raised as an Episcopalian and actually fairly active in the church, and at my initiative got confirmed as an Episcopalian at age 13 or whatever it was. Got sent to boarding school and had required chapel. I think it was 3 days a week plus Sundays, and that drummed out any interest in church or religion pretty directly. It was required, and
Uh-huh.
you did what you had to do and you avoided it. And so I really was unchurched for a long, long time, and got and admit we are in the pre-Scott post-building era of UUFCO.
Little pocket
And
there.
so we were intrigued by the building. We came in, and I was struck by the community. I was struck by the opportunity to stop and think about serious issues, personal issues, and you could call them spiritual issues, and got very much intrigued. So for me, it was coming in from a sort of a desert of
Yeah.
A lack of interest in at least organized religion up until a few years ago.
Wow. Moving fast. Here you are. How about superpower? Any superpower in the entire world you could have,
Superpower.
what would you pick?
Oh, that I could have.
Yeah, not that you, I guess, I don't know, do you have one? Maybe you have one already.
I don't think I have one now. I was going to
Yeah.
try to figure out what it is. But
I'm
that I
thinking like
could have.
like superhero-esque, like flying or invisibility.
Actually, it would be a little bit, you and I talked about it. If I could figure out how to get people in this country to be listening to each other again, and not angry at each other, and not and just be able to communicate and talk and at least come together in some way, that would be a huge superpower.
Well, that's great. You're using your powers for good. That's
well, you'd hope so.
That's great. Yeah,
because it really bugs me where we are today. So.
Yeah, me too. So much division, so little listening. That we would do well to heal in that way.
I've made a couple of attempts with people. The brother of a friend of mine who was posting some right-wing stuff, and I've got a few discussions going on, very tentatively, and so far, what I'm getting back is very tendentious, very long article. Oh, you need to read this article if you need to understand. And it's this, multi-page thing from Commentary Magazine and it's happened 3 or 4 times. So I'm learning a little about I think where some of the discontent with a more liberal view to the world comes from.
Yeah, it's important to understand other perspectives for sure. Yeah.
Trying.
All right, last question. What what do you do when you are unwinding or relaxing? Like what's just kind of like what is that enjoyable, pleasurable activity for you that helps you just release and relax?
Um, I've always liked and been mediocre at sports, and my golf game fits in that category now.
Okay.
So I got hooked on playing golf in my late 40s, and sort of stepped back and wondered why. And I've realized that you have to focus if you're going to play. And so a lot of the rest of the world kind of goes away.
Uh-huh.
And so, yes, I love to play golf. That's relaxing. I've liked other sports. And I think that there's a physical release of that. And then sitting watching a TV series with Linda in the evening is also delightfully relaxing.
Yeah. That sounds nice. That sounds nice. And are you able to, do you play golf now during, I guess it's winter, but that's a kind of a COVID activity. You can do that, right?
Yes, we played all summer. And I think that's part of why I commented that the last few weeks have been tougher is basically by now you can't play much. And
right.
And I've just been outdoors less. But yes, it was a savior during the early part of the COVID.
I bet. It's very socially distanced now that I think about it. Being on a golf course.
You got to be a little careful, but yes, the course was open and we had to do a few funny things, but it worked.
Wow. Great.
And made a huge difference all summer.
Yeah. Well, it's the middle of winter now, but spring will come and the golf courses will open again. So we'll hope for a quick return there for you. Well, thanks, Fletcher.
Thank you.
That's it. I just appreciate your being open to letting us get to know you a little bit better.
Thank you. Thanks for doing these series. I've enjoyed seeing the other ones.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much.
Take care.